Hello and welcome to the Best Online. My name is Xavier Blackwell, and today I'm joined by Isaac Schubert, USF alum and founder of Umba Productions. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. Alrighty, so what is Umba Productions?
So Umba Productions is a creative service to sports teams, athletes, small businesses, basically anybody who wants to tell their story in a creative way so that their audiences can be engaged through creative media, however that looks.
Okay, so how did your journey start and how did you get to where you are today?
My journey started in Sioux Falls. I was a football player at the University of Sioux Falls. I ended up blowing out my knee my senior year in spring ball. And actually how I got started was I wanted to stay involved with my team, but didn't really know what that looked like at the time. So I knew that we had some sort of media coverage, but it wasn't like a lot. And the reason being was just everybody was short staffed. Like it's not like it wasn't a thing where they were trying to not cover, sports teams or like the football team. It's just like there just wasn't really too many people. So really what I wanted to do was help out. And I talked to Nancy Sutton and Nick Poppins at the school, and they were very kind enough to allow me to use the gear there to create videos, create photos, and basically just follow the team with however I saw fit with my creative direction. And it was really awesome because it opened the door for a lot of things. When I was developing my style, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And at the time I was an exercise science major, so it wasn't in the wheelhouse whatsoever for me. And it was really just out of fun, pure fun. Like I really enjoyed everything that I did. And that ultimately led to the career switch.
All right. What is it about the photo and video mediums that piqued your interest?
Honestly, just telling stories through my own eye, my own creative eye. There's a lot of people in this industry, especially moving to Minneapolis now, like just seeing where the creative sports industry has gone. It's not just me out here. Like there's so many more people that are more talented than I am, or younger and just better than I am. And it's crazy just because the industry has grown so much. And I think being able to not fall victim to imposter syndrome and just creating what I want to create, being the one that shoots something from start to finish and telling the story through my vision, like that's what really gravitates me towards it, because there's so much freedom in being able to take a story or take a sporting event and then tell it in the way that you want to tell it. And that's what's super cool about what I do and what I really love to do.
So you are in Minneapolis now, and you've recently started working with the University of Minnesota and the NFL. Can you tell me what that's like to work in those environments and at that high level?
Man, it's crazy. The athletes are bigger, stronger, and faster. There's millions and millions of dollars invested into these programs. It's not Sioux Falls, South Dakota anymore. It's a challenge. It's an eye-opening experience to see just what it is like at the top, at the highest levels. And it's been very humbling coming from Sioux Falls, because in Sioux Falls, there was just not much for me to grow from. And so then when I come here, it's like, oh, you're not the only person who does this here. There's a lot of other people here that are better than you. And it was humbling because I knew coming into it that it's going to be more competitive at this level, and especially at the highest level. But it has also been such an eye-opening experience as far as where I can see where I can take my company and my business, and seeing just the need. And coming from a small school and a small town background, when you go into the bigger city, you are just opened up to a million different opportunities. And it's not only been humbling for myself creatively to know that I'm not the best, so I can't come in here thinking that I am, But it's also been really exciting seeing the opportunities, being able to film the NFL, film the Gophers, and tell stories through that medium. And it's been very rewarding so far.
So speaking on where both you and your business is going to go, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I really hope to learn as much as I can. I've only been doing this about 3 years, professionally about 2.5. And I say professionally when in my mind, I could make the switch and say, yes, I could make an actual living off of this, and it wasn't a hobby anymore. So about 2.5 years of professional work here. So I am very new in this industry, especially for where I'm at. I'm going up against people who've been doing this for 6, 10, 20 years of their lives, and they have seen it literally start from zero to where it's at now. So in 5 years from now, all I want to do is learn from those who have been in the industry longer than I have insight. It doesn't matter if they're a 19-year-old freshman who has been filming their high school for the past 5 years. Like either way, like there's knowledge there. And it doesn't matter if you're the creative director or you're just a freelancer like myself. Like I feel like that there's so much learning that I can do and learn from people. So in 5 years, honestly, I don't really know where I'm going to end up, but all I'm doing is learning as much as I can, connecting with people all across the country. I had a phone call with a creator in LA. I had a phone call with a Tennessee videographer, another guy down in Troy, Alabama. Like the ability to be able to connect with people is incredible. And I think in the next 5 years, that's really what I want to do, is just learn as much as I can.
Okay. And with all the learning and growing you've done so far, what's one thing you wish you can go back and tell yourself just as you were finishing up college and heading out into the world?
Honestly, if I could go back and do it again, injuries and everything, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I wouldn't change anything where I'm at right now. I'm very happy with where I am. I'm happy with the work that I've put in to get to where I am. And I'm also excited to see the direction where I'm going. So if I could tell myself one thing, it would probably be just to slow down. You don't have to get to the top in one day, 1 year, 1 month, whatever. The journey's long. It can be very difficult at times, but I think in those hardships is where I've grown the most as a creative, as a professional, as a business owner. Like I think I wouldn't change a single thing, but if I could go back to myself 2-3 years ago from where I'm at now, I would just tell myself to just keep trusting the process, continue to work hard. Like don't take any of it for granted. If there's one thing that I do regret is I was so eager to get out of Sioux Falls that I wasn't as appreciative of the relationships that I've formed. The opportunities that I was given. Granted, it was very hard for me to film in South Dakota just because, it's foreign. Like creative media and sports world is very foreign in Sioux Falls and South Dakota. And I wanted it to grow faster than it actually was. And it only took me leaving to see it like really like blow up. And like that kind of was it hurt at first just because what I envisioned the creative media in South Dakota to be only really happened after I left. And I don't think that I had any influence on that. Maybe I did, I don't know. But either way, like I'm just grateful that I could have started there and maybe had an influence in, seeing where it's at now. Like it's awesome to see photographers and filmers at games pumping out stuff that looks really great for South Dakota teams, because at the end of the day, like, and this goes back to my point of being anxious to get out of South Dakota, like South Dakota would always be home to me. So being able to see some creators that has really stepped up and started to kind of follow kind of what I started to do too. It's been really cool to see that South Dakota is moving forward in the direction that I was hoping that it would. So, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, both myself and the rest of the media studies students at USF, we definitely feel your impact and we appreciate it. So
Thank you. That means a lot.
All right. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you for watching The Best Online. Until next time.